You just turned 42. You're sitting at your kitchen table looking at your retirement account balance, $87,000. You do some quick math in your head and realize that at this rate, you're nowhere close to where you need to be. Your mortgage still has 23 years left. Your kid starts college in 6 years, and you just got the quote for fixing your car, $2,800. You think to yourself, I'm in my 40s. I should have this figured out by now. Where did I go wrong? The panic starts to set in because you realize you're running out of time to fix this. Here's what kills me. Your 40s are not the decade where you panic. They're the decade where you execute. And if you hit the right financial milestones in this decade, you will set yourself up for a retirement that's not just comfortable, it's actually enjoyable. I'm going to show you exactly what those milestones are and the specific actions you need to take to hit every single one of them. My name is Max, and I want to help you learn how to make your money work more for you in your life. Today, I'm breaking down the critical financial milestones you need to accomplish in your 40s, why this decade is make or break for your financial future, and the exact steps to ensure you're not just surviving, but thriving as you move toward retirement. So, let's get started, and please make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Okay, let's talk about why your 40s matter so much financially. Because this isn't just another decade. This is the decade that determines everything. Here's the thing. In your 20s, you were figuring things out. In your 30s, you were building your career and probably starting a family. But your 40s? This is your peak earning decade. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, workers typically hit their highest earning years between ages 45 to 54. This means you have more money coming in than you've ever had before, and if you use this decade correctly, you can make up for any lost time from your 20s and 30s. But here's what most people don't realize. This is also your last chance to aggressively build wealth before retirement becomes real. You've got roughly 15 to 20 years until retirement. That might sound like a lot, but compound interest needs time to work. Every year you delay, you lose exponential growth potential. Let me show you what I mean. If you invest $10,000 today at age 40 and it grows at 8% annually, by age 65, it becomes $68,485. But if you wait just 5 years and invest that same $10,000 at age 45, it only grows to $46,610 by age 65. You lost $21,875 in growth by waiting 5 years. Time is your most valuable asset right now, and you're running out of it. Additionally, your 40s are when life gets expensive. College tuition for kids, aging parents who might need financial support, your own health expenses starting to increase. If you don't have your financial foundation locked in, these expenses will devastate you. Milestone number 1, have 3 times your annual salary in retirement savings. All right, let's get into the specific milestones. The first one is critical. By age 40, you should have at least 3 times your annual salary saved in retirement accounts. By age 45, that should be 4 to 5 times your salary. Now, you might be thinking, Max, I'm nowhere close to that. I know. According to Fidelity's retirement savings guidelines and Federal Reserve data, the average American in their 40s has approximately $95,000 saved for retirement. But if you're making $75,000 a year, you should have $225,000 saved by age 40. Most people are dramatically behind. Here's why this matters. The math on retirement is unforgiving. To maintain your current lifestyle in retirement, you need approximately 80% of your pre-retirement income. If you make $75,000 now, you'll need $60,000 per year in retirement. Social Security might cover $25,000 to $30,000 of that. You need your savings to generate the remaining $30,000 to $35,000 annually. Using the 4% safe withdrawal rule, you need approximately $750,000 to $875,000 saved to generate that income sustainably. If you're 45 with only $95,000 saved, you've got 20 years to close a gap of $655,000 to $780,000. That requires aggressive action right now. The action plan. If you're behind, here's what you do immediately. Max out your 401k contributions. For 2025, The limit is $23,500 or $31,000 if you're over 50 with catch-up contributions. If you can't max it out, contribute at least 15 to 20% of your gross income. Set up automatic increases. Every time you get a raise, increase your contribution by at least half of that raise amount. Open a Roth IRA if you don't have one, and you qualify based on income limits. Contribute the maximum $7,000 per year or $8,000 if you're 50 plus. This gives you tax diversification in retirement. Having both pre-tax and post-tax money to draw from gives you flexibility and can reduce your tax burden significantly. Milestone number 2, be completely debt-free except your mortgage. Here's the second milestone. By your mid-40s, you should have zero consumer debt, no credit card balances, no car loans, no personal loans. The only acceptable debt is your mortgage, and even that should be on an aggressive payoff timeline. Look, here's what most people don't realize. Consumer debt is a wealth destroyer. If you're carrying $15,000 in credit card debt at 22% interest and making minimum payments, you'll pay over $40,000 total and take 25 plus years to pay it off. That's $25,000 plus in interest that could have been invested in growing. Let me show you what that actually costs you in terms of lost wealth. If instead of paying $625 per month toward credit card debt for 4 years, you invested that same $625 per month at 8% returns for 20 years, you'd have $372,000. Consumer debt doesn't just cost you the interest, it costs you the opportunity to build life-changing wealth. The action plan. Use the debt avalanche method. List all your debts by interest rate, highest to lowest. Make minimum payments on everything except the highest interest debt and attack that one with every extra dollar you have. Once it's gone, move to the next highest rate. This mathematically saves you the most money in interest. For car loans specifically, stop financing depreciating assets. If you have a car loan, pay it off aggressively. Then keep that car for 8 to 10 years. When you finally need a new car, buy a reliable 2 to 3-year-old vehicle with cash. The moment you're making car payments, you're transferring wealth from your future self to a car company. Also, if you have federal student loans, explore income-driven repayment plans or refinancing options if you have private loans. Don't let student debt payments prevent you from investing for retirement. Find the right balance, but prioritize eliminating high-interest debt first. Milestone number 3. Have 6 to 12 months of expenses in emergency savings. Milestone 3. You need a fully funded emergency fund covering 6 to 12 months of expenses in a high-yield savings account that you don't touch unless there's a genuine emergency. Here's the thing. In your 40s, emergencies get more expensive. A $500 car repair was annoying in your 20s. In your 40s, you're dealing with $3,000 HVAC replacements, $5,000 medical procedures, potential job loss when finding new employment takes longer. Without an emergency fund, these events force you into debt or force you to raid your retirement accounts, both of which destroy your wealth-building momentum. According to Bankrate, 57% of Americans couldn't cover a $1,000 emergency with savings. That's financial fragility. In your 40s, you cannot afford to be financially fragile. You need a buffer. The action plan. Calculate your true monthly expenses, not your income, your actual expenses. Multiply by 6 for a minimum emergency fund, by 12 for a robust one. If your monthly expenses are $4,500, you need $27,000 to $54,000 in an emergency fund. Now, you are probably wondering, Max, should I build my emergency fund or pay off debt first? Here's my take. Build a starter emergency fund of $2,000 to $5,000, then attack high-interest debt, then finish building your full emergency fund. This prevents you from going deeper into debt when life happens while you're paying off existing debt. Keep this money in a high-yield savings account earning 4 to 5% interest, not in your checking account where you'll accidentally spend it. Separate account, separate bank if necessary, not connected to your debit card. Milestone number 4. Have a clear plan for college funding. If you have kids, Milestone 4 is critical. By your mid-40s, you need a concrete plan for college funding that doesn't destroy your retirement. And here's what most people don't realize. You can borrow for college. You cannot borrow for retirement. I know you want to give your kids everything, but sacrificing your retirement to pay for their college is a mistake that hurts both of you. You become their financial burden in your 70s because you have no money. The average cost of a 4-year public in-state university is approximately $75,000 to $100,000 total. Private universities can run $200,000 to $300,000. These numbers are staggering, but here's the key. Your kid doesn't need to go to the most expensive school, and you don't need to pay 100% of the cost. The action plan. If you haven't started a 5 to 9 college savings plan, start one this month. Even if your kid is 12 years old and college is 6 years away, investing $500 per month for 6 years at 7% returns gives you approximately $43,000 saved. That covers a significant portion of in-state tuition, or can be combined with scholarships, financial aid, and your kid working part-time. Have the honest conversation with your kids early. Set expectations. Tell them, we can contribute X dollars per year toward college. Here are the schools that fit within that budget. If you want to go somewhere more expensive, here's how much you'll need to cover through scholarships, work, or loans. Also, explore alternatives. Community college for the first 2 years, in-state public universities, schools that offer merit scholarships. Your kid can get a great education without $200,000 in debt or you depleting your retirement. Seriously, this is where you need to be strategic, not emotional. Funding college is important, but it's milestone number 4, not milestone number 1, for a reason. Milestone number 5, maximize your earning potential. Milestone 5 is about income. By your mid-40s, you should be in your peak earning years, and you should be maximizing that potential through strategic career moves, skill development, or entrepreneurship. Look, your 40s are when you have the experience, the network, and the expertise to command your highest salary. If you're still making roughly what you made 5 years ago with just cost of living increases, you're leaving massive money on the table. According to data from PayScale, workers who change jobs earn approximately 10 to 20% more on average than those who stay with the same employer. Your loyalty to a company is admirable, but if it's costing you $15,000 to $25,000 per year in lost earnings, it's financially devastating. The action plan. Evaluate your market value. Use sites like Glassdoor, Salary.com, or PayScale to see what people in your role and market are actually earning. If you're underpaid, you have 2 options. Negotiate aggressively for a raise, or find a new employer who will pay you what you're worth. If you haven't changed jobs in 5+ years, at minimum, get your resume updated and start interviewing. Even if you don't take another job, interviewing gives you leverage in negotiations and keeps your skills sharp. Additionally, invest in certifications or skills that increase your earning potential. A $2,000 course that leads to a $10,000 raise is a 400% return on investment in year 1, and that raise compounds every year after. Also, consider side income streams that leverage your existing expertise. Consulting, freelancing, or creating digital products can add $10,000 to $30,000 plus per year to your income. In your 40s, you have knowledge and skills people will pay for. Use them. Milestone number 6, own your home or have a plan to. Milestone 6, by your late 40s, you should either own your home outright, be on track to own it before retirement, or have a clear housing plan that doesn't involve renting indefinitely. Here's the thing. Housing is typically your largest expense. In retirement, if you still have a mortgage payment or you're renting, you need significantly more retirement savings to cover that expense for 25 to 30 years. Now, I know you may be frustrated because you feel like you're behind on this one. Maybe you bought your house late, or you had to refinance, or you're in a high-cost market. That's okay. The key is having a plan. The action plan. If you have a 30-year mortgage and you're 45, you're paying that mortgage until age 75. That's not sustainable. Consider refinancing to a 15-year mortgage if your income allows, or make extra principal payments to shorten your timeline. Here's the math. On a $300,000 mortgage at 4% interest over 30 years, you'll pay approximately $515,000 total, $215,000 in interest. If you pay just $200 extra per month toward principal, you'll save $61,000 in interest and pay off your mortgage 7 years early. That's real money that stays in your pocket. If you're renting because homeownership doesn't make sense in your market, that's fine. But you need to be investing the difference aggressively. Renting isn't inherently bad if you're building wealth in other ways, but you can't rent and not save. That's a disaster. Look, here's what I need you to understand. Your 40s require a completely different financial mindset than your 30s. In your 30s, you could still tell yourself, I have time. In your 40s, you don't. Time is no longer your ally. It's your constraint. This means you need to shift from, I'll get to it eventually, to, I'm executing this right now. You don't have another decade to waste. Every year you delay hitting these milestones makes retirement harder or pushes it further away. Additionally, your 40s are when you need to stop trying to keep up with people who are broke. Your friends buying new cars every 3 years, taking expensive vacations they're financing, living in houses they can barely afford. They're not building wealth. They're building debt. You need to be okay being different. Seriously, the people who retire comfortably in their 60s are the ones who made unpopular decisions in their 40s. They drove the paid-off car. They said no to expensive dinners. They maxed out retirement accounts instead of taking luxury vacations. It looked boring. It felt restrictive, but it worked. So here's the reality. Your 40s are your last chance to get this right before retirement becomes real. You need to hit these milestones. 3 to 5 times your salary in retirement savings, 0 consumer debt, a fully funded emergency fund, a college plan that doesn't destroy your retirement, peak earning years maximized, and a clear housing strategy. These aren't suggestions. These are requirements if you want to retire with dignity and actually enjoy your later years instead of stressing about money until you die. But here's the good news. You still have time. If you're 40 and you start executing today, you've got 20 to 25 years until retirement. That's enough time for compound interest to work magic if you're aggressive about saving and investing. If you're 45, you've got 15 to 20 years. Still doable, but you need to be even more aggressive. Your assignment. Pick one milestone from this video that you're furthest behind on and take one action this week to start closing that gap. If it's retirement savings, increase your 401k contribution today. If it's debt, make an extra payment this week. If it's emergency fund, open the high yield savings account and set up an automatic transfer. Then leave a comment below telling me which milestone you're tackling first. Let's build some accountability here. Subscribe to this channel because we're going to keep breaking down exactly how to win with money at every stage of life. Hit that thumbs up if this video gave you the clarity and urgency you needed. Your 40s are not the decade to coast. They're the decade to dominate. You've got 15 to 20 years until retirement. And what you do right now determines whether retirement is comfortable or catastrophic. Stop delaying. Start executing. Your future self is counting on the decisions you make today. Make them count.